Dr. Lingaswamy, good afternoon.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, I
How are
think
you?
it is time we should start.
Yes,
In,
sir.
in any case, the recording will be there. And
Sir.
those who cannot join, they will watch the video recording afterwards.
Okay, sir.
So please take over.
Okay, sir. Sure. Hello. Hello, everyone. Today we are going to discuss on different settings like a healthcare setting, community setting, and a correctional setting. Last class we discussed about some two settings. Today we will cover the remaining healthcare setting, correctional setting, and community setting. Social work in healthcare and community setting. In the field of social work, how social factors in health were recognized as a specific history. Earlier, the profession, how it transformed. The first initiative was registered in England around 1880 when a group of volunteers working for an refuge started making home visits for the discharged patients. Early in 1895 in England, Sir Charles Lodge's recommendation regarding Lady Almanor's visit to the patient's home in order to prevent the abuse of drugs given by the charitable hospital paved the way again for the introduction of medical social work. What is the importance and how it will help to social worker in community in healthcare setting? In the early 80s, 1880 and 1895, in England, there is some steps by Charles Lodge, the importance of social worker in healthcare system, healthcare setting. In 1902, Dr. Charles Emerson appreciated the significance of social aspects in illness. As a medical doctor aspect is different, but in some social aspects also in illness, there is a significant social aspects also in illness. Dr. Charles Emerson appreciated the significance of social aspects in illness. He was of the opinion that medical students should work as volunteers under the charity or agencies and need to study the socio-economic as well as emotional conditions of the patients. As a medical doctor, their view only how to treat the patient, treatment plan is very clear. But they don't have idea about the social and economic and emotional conditions of the patients. That treating just patient is patient, but what is the behind patient socio-economic and emotional conditions of the patients? It is not compulsory in medical doctor case. In 1902, Dr. Charles Emerson appreciated the significance of the social aspects in illness. When Dr. Richard C. Cabot established the Department of Medical Social Work at the Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston, the real importance of social factors in health was formally accepted in social work profession. Earlier, there is no social importance or socio-economic or emotional there is no importance of the patients in treatment. When Dr. Richard C. Cabot established the Department of Medical Social Work at Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston, there is a significant important social factors in health was formally accepted in social work. Thereafter, trained social workers were appointed in different hospitals of USA to improve the quality of healthcare, to understand the social factors related to illness as well as treatment, and to utilize community resources in comprehensive patient care. Earlier, there is no practice of social workers in medical setting. After a long time, the trained social workers were appointed in different hospitals of United States of America to improve the quality of healthcare, to understand, to analyze the social factors related to illness as well as treatment, and utilize community resources in comprehensive patient care. In India, the first social worker in healthcare was introduced in 1946 in JJ Hospital, Mumbai, and then in 1950 in Lady Irwin Hospital in Delhi. Various social and psychological factors that influence the disease and their treatment are as follows. There is a various social and psychological factors influence the disease and the treatment of the patient. Few social factors may influence the treatment of the patient. The psychological factors also may impact the treatment of the client. So here, various social and psychological factors may influence the disease and their treatment of the client. Social factors: poverty, migration, personal habits, low intelligence, low education and personal ignorance, working conditions, social stigma, cultural factors. So, first one, poverty. How poverty influence the patient's disease and treatment plan. For example, patient from very poor economic condition, treatment the economic condition may influence the client's treatment plan. If there is no sufficient financial condition, there is no financial assistance for treatment, it may affect. Poverty is a very important social factor, influence on client's treatment plan. For example, the patient facing some disease, but there is no treatment plan in government hospital at the particular condition. The patient belongs to below poverty line or very low profile economic condition. How he will take treatment from private hospital? So the social factors, poverty may influence on treatment plan of the client or patient. Migration also one of the social factors to influence the client's or patient's treatment plan. Personal habits. Personal habits also influence treatment plan and disease of the client. For example, client drug addict or alcoholic addict patient. After diagnosis, the patient continue his personal habits like taking over alcohol or taking drugs. So the personal habits also influence the treatment plan of the patient or client. The low intelligence and low education and personal ignorance. It is not all conditions. Low intelligence and low education may influence the client's treatment plan and disease. Why? Because, for example, client from the low intelligence background, low intelligence, how he will understand, he or she understand the treatment plan of the plan for him or her, how to take medication, how to maintain good health, how to maintain interaction. So because of low intelligence, he or she cannot implement his or her treatment plan. He or she doesn't know about his disease and treatment plan. And low education. In few conditions, low education also impact or influence the disease and treatment plan of the client. And the personal ignorance. Few people they know why disease is coming and how he is suffering with the problem. And even though he continue his habits, so he or she cannot overcome the problem. Working condition, social stigma. This is also one social factor to influence the disease and treatment plan of the client. And cultural factor. Cultural factors plays a very important role in disease and treatment plan of the client. For example, patient or client coming from particular culture. In his culture, his or her culture, they are not allowing some surgery, particular part of the body. Why? Because the culture is not accepting the surgery. How the patient will go for treatment? If there is no treatment, how the patient will survive? So here cultural factors, because of the the particular patient cultural beliefs, cultural practices, their family and their community, they are not allowing the patient go for surgery. So because of the cultural factor, the patient does not go for surgery. So the cultural factor also influence disease and treatment plan of the client. The psychological factors, emotional problem, anxieties and tensions, fatalistic attitude. So here psychological factors like emotional problem, anxieties and tensions, fatalistic attitude also influence the uh, client's disease and treatment plan. So for example, emotional problem. For example, family had suffering with some long-term disease. In the case of long-term disease, the family, their relatives, they are emotionally involved the client's problem. So they are not ready to go for any further step because they are in emotional attachment. If doctor suggested for surgery, but they are not allowing the patient, if surgery will surgery will take place, any life threatening of the client, they are not allowing. So there is emotional problem within the family, and emotional problem uh, of the client also, and anxieties and tensions because of patient's anxiety and tension, fear about the surgery. For example, patient fear about anxiety about the surgery. It is also impact influence the disease and treatment plan of the client. For example, patient anxiety about the surgery, fear about the surgery. If go for surgery, if there is he or she may life threaten, feel like life threaten. It is also some um, psychological factor, and a fatalistic attitude also influence the client's patient disease and treatment plan. So here, role of social worker in the healthcare team. In the healthcare team, group of people is there. Not only social worker in a healthcare setting. Social workers work in the interdisciplinary team. Means here in healthcare team, there is a multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary team. In the healthcare team, medical professionals are also is there. Medical professionals are psychiatrists, and medical and psychiatric or psychiatric social worker, clinical psychologist, occupational therapist, trained nurse, etc. are the members of healthcare team. For example, the client or patient suffering with HIV/AIDS. The patient, the HIV patient contact with medical professionals about medical condition of the client, means here diagnosis and treatment of the client, and medical and psychiatric social worker and a clinical psychologist, the psychological condition of the client, and occupational therapist. There is any suggestions by medical professional to the particular client, and trained nurse are the members of the healthcare team. So the important functions of social worker associated with this team are as follows. What are the important functions of social worker associated with their team, not individual? Uh, how is doing his work with the remaining team members? Here, social worker notes down the social history pertaining to the patients. Here, you remember the professional social worker in healthcare setting write down the history of the social history of the client or patient. Here, history of the social history means here the childhood and school performance, home condition, interpersonal relationship in the family, job performance, psychosexual history, attitudes, hobbies, interests, etc. For example, client or patient from HIV positive. Here, we need to collect information about the patient from his school performance, home condition, why the yes, Akinade, please off your microphone. Akinladi, please off your microphone. So here, as a professional social worker, collect the information about the client, like childhood experience, school performance, how uh, is performance in schooling, and home conditions, family conditions, parents and siblings, relatives, and then interpersonal relationship in the family, and the job performance. If he or she working in any job, how is performance? He or she perform their job, and psychosexual history and attitudes and hobbies of the client and interests, etc. In order to understand or analyze patients' parental problems in the context of present difficulties. Why here need to collect the social history of the client is, to understand and analyze the patient's present problems in the context of present difficulties. Based on his social history, we give some counseling to the particular HIV positive patient. HIV positive. So, second function, social worker explains the nature of disease or illness to the patients and their family members. This is a very important function of the professional social worker. When here also we take HIV and AIDS positive, social worker must explain the nature of disease or illness to the patient and their family members. In the case of HIV AIDS, first professional social worker need to explain the nature of the disease to the particular patient and then their family members. What is the requirements and what is the prevention need to take in this disease, the role of family members in treatment. So here social worker also explains how frequently the same disease can occur and what could be its impact at the individual level or at the group level and the treatment procedures recommended by the doctors. Here, in the case of HIV positive, the professional social worker must explain the consequences of the disease and impact at the individual level. If the patient suffering with HIV, how the disease,
ಯಾವ್ದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಹೋಗಿನ
yes,
ಹೋಗಿಚ್ಚಿ
hello,
All the students are requested to please mute your microphone.
today, okay. Okay, sir. So here, social worker need to explain the nature of disease or illness to the patient and their family members, how it could be its impact at the individual level or their family, and the treatment procedures recommended by the doctors. When the patient, when the positive HIV positive case knows about his he or she diagnosis, how they feel. At the particular condition, social worker, professional social worker need to give some counseling to the client or patient and then inform to client's family members how it will impact the individual level and how it will impact the family level if the particular individual suffering with HIV AIDS. So here the role of social worker is very clear. Explain the nature of disease to the patient and his or her family members. A social worker, as a method of healthcare team, can help the patient and family to find out the way towards better social adjustment. In this regard, he may provide emotional support and bring environmental modification by working with the family members. When, for example, in the case of HIV/AIDS, when the patient knows the diagnosis of HIV/AIDS and his family members, social worker may provide emotional support and bring environmental modification to the clients and client family by working with the family members. Once knows about the diagnosis, we know the condition of the patient and family members. So here, the professional social worker function is very clear: provide emotional support to the client family members and bring environmental modification. Next, many a time, lack of resources makes it difficult for patient to receive appropriate medical or psychiatric care, and social worker pools community resources in order to provide money or medicine or clothes to the poor patients so that they can continue treatment as per the advice of the doctor. Here, social worker provide some resources, community resources to the client or patient in the name of money or in the name of medicines or clothes to the poor patients. Our last classes we discussed when patient lost his or her legs in accident, after treatment, the patient or the client needs some wheelchair. As a professional social worker, we find out the resources which organization is providing wheelchairs to the physical with disability
Dr.
patients.
Lingaswamy, Dr.
Yes, sir.
Your slides are not visible.
Yes, sir. No. I'm explaining. The particular situation. Just I'm saying.
Okay.
Always just showing it is not. So that's why I'm
Now it is
just
visible.
I'm okay. So last class we discussed the particular condition. Professional social worker find out the resources which organization is providing wheelchair to the physical with disability patients. As a professional social worker attached to the client to particular organization, the organization will provide some wheelchairs to the physical with disability patients. Here also, as a social worker, pools community resources in order to provide money or medicines or clothes. Nowadays, many organizations, even governmental organizations and non-governmental organizations, provide some financial assistance to the patients who are suffering with some rare diseases. For example, in India, who are the positives, HIV positives, suffering with HIV/AIDS, they are benefiting medicines or some financial assistance from the government departments. As a social worker, you here we remember pools community resources to the client. And activities related to group work with patients and their family members are undertaken by the social workers in order to provide recreational facilities, necessary awareness, and therapeutic inputs. Once, as a professional social worker, provide or inform, guide to the clients about the community resources, then activities related to group work with the patients and their family members are undertaken by the social worker to provide recreational facilities, necessary awareness and therapeutic inputs to the client and client family members. Social worker helps the client in rehabilitation. In healthcare setting, rehabilitation is a process of helping a patient to return to normal life. What is rehabilitation? In healthcare setting, rehabilitation means it is the process of helping patient to return normal life. Patient come back to his or her normal life. For example, patient suffering with one disease like TB, tuberculosis. In healthcare setting, client suffering with patient suffering with TB, tuberculosis. After rehabilitation of this process, the client to return normal life after treatment. Here it may be social rehabilitation and psychological rehabilitation and vocational rehabilitation is there. Here social rehabilitation means restoration, rebuilding of family and social relationship. When the patient suffering with tuberculosis, he or she may stay in some sanatorium. After treatment, the treatment, he or she may be restoration, social rehabilitation means restoration of family and social relationships. Or psychological rehabilitation, restoration of person's personal dignity and confidence. And vocational rehabilitation, restoration, rebuilding of the capacity to earn a livelihood. And facilitating in referral services is one of the important functions of social worker. Anyone heard about the rehabilitation services in your community, in your town, in your area? There is any rehabilitation centers? If there is any rehabilitation center, you can go for observational visit. Anyone can respond. Is there any rehabilitation centers? Either provide some restoration services. Yes, Anas.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yes, good man.
Good morning, class. There is one in our area, the rehabilitation center. But I told you last few courses that you have done back that the rehabilitation center has been closed. You said that I should visit the place, even with the workers and
Yes,
interact
you can visit.
in order to fill my.
Have you visited earlier?
I decided to visit, but up to now, I decided to visit the rehabilitation center, but due to the induction meeting that you say I'm going to do with my fieldwork supervisor, that was made me not to go there. But I have started attending some places and asked them that I will come and join them in order to have a fieldwork with them. They said that if I'm ready, I should come.
Okay, once after allocation of fieldwork supervisor, you can visit a rehabilitation center. If anyone, there is a rehabilitation center in your town, you can visit the particular rehabilitation center under observational visit, under fieldwork orientation visit or fieldwork practicum. Any more? Okay. In referral service is one of the important functions of social worker. Here, you remember referral service means linking a client or patient with any an agency or professional person that can and will provide service needed by the client. For example, in medical setting, a patient may be referred to a clinic or polyclinic or nursing home or hospital. In psychiatric setup, a patient can be referred to CGC. If child is having behavioral problem, the professional social worker can refer to CGC. They will provide some um, behavioral modification setting and de-addiction centers. If the client or patient alcoholic or drug addicted, once professional social worker refer to a particular center, de-addiction center, and in de-addiction center, the patient or client may provide some de-addiction procedure, de-addiction practices. Then psychiatric department for more opportunities pertaining to the therapeutic inputs or mental hospital to deal with the chronic and acute mental patients requiring physical treatment. And so here referral services means, you remember, any patient suffering with any type of issue or problem, the particular patient linkage with an agency or professional person is called referral services. Just we are referring to the particular organization. Social worker gets involved with follow-up of patient and his family so as to stabilize the gains made during treatment. After treatment, also professional social worker maintains some follow-up with client or patient and with his family members. Why? For example, in the case of alcoholic or drug abuse, during the treatment they are cooperative and they are maintain some good medication and all practices. After treatment, after completion of the course, after completion of the treatment, they go back to their home and they are not following the treatment suggested by doctor or psychiatric social worker. Now, even though they are continuing, they are taking over consumption of alcohol or drug. So here, professional social worker gets involved in the follow-up of the patient and his family. After treatment, how he or she is maintaining, how he or she maintaining relationship within the family and old habits, so as to stabilize the gains made during treatment. What practices he or she has practiced stabilize the gains during treatment, and after treatment also he or she stabilize the gains. In the medical or psychiatric institutions, in order to carry out follow-up activities, patients or their families who visit OPD are interviewed to assess the programs made by the patient after discharge. After discharge, the condition of the patient, when visit patient or their family members visit OPD or interview, how we will how we will collect the information about the client is after discharge, the patient family members who visit OPD are interviewed to assess the client or patient's progress. Then social worker is also associated with teaching, supervision, and staff development activities. Earlier we discussed when professional social worker doing two roles. One is working as a professional social worker. Another role is providing some assistance, guiding students, supervisors, interns, student social worker who are working under his or her supervision. For example, one professional social worker working with non-governmental organization, when he is working with particular community, he is doing his own job, provide organizing meetings with community, identifying the problem, implementing the programs, evaluate the programs, as well as the professional social worker supervises who are the students, who are the interns, who are the student social worker under his supervision. He or she can supervises the professional student social workers. So here, professional social worker associated with teaching, supervision, and staff development activities also. In future, when you appointed as a professional social worker, you may do these two jobs. One is doing your professional social worker role, and the second one is supervises trainee trainee social work students. Now you are going to observational visit in after coming days. You may work under professional social worker working at the particular organization. Maintain the records regularly and have clarity and objectivity are important for continuation of treatment of the client, organizational development and social research. For example, when you are doing your job as a professional social worker, maintain the records of the either client records or organizational records. Here, as a professional social worker, maintain the treatment, maintain the records of treatment of the client and organizational development and social research also. Social workers take the responsibility of maintaining these case records, registers, files, and correspondence for future guidance and research purposes. When you are working as a professional social worker, when you interact with your clients, you maintain some case records, maintain the records, case records, and registers, files, and correspondence for future guidance. Once your treatment is over with your client, after 5 years, after 10 years, the client may face the same problem after 5 years. How you deal with the particular client? If you may transfer to other organization, if you maintain some record about the particular client, if you transfer from the particular organization, if the records is there, the organization will take care about the particular client after 5 years also. So here, as a professional social worker, maintain the records. Then research work includes the activities of varying complexity from formulation of research problem, development of hypothesis, selection of methodology, data collection, data analysis to report writing. Here, as a professional social worker, do some research work in healthcare setting. In order to carry forward mental hygiene movement, as a professional social worker in healthcare setting, we need to carry forward some mental hygiene movement and propagation towards health for all. Now, as a professional social worker in healthcare setting, we need to propagation or propaganda towards health for all. Social workers keep in touch with the community by means of write-ups, periodicals, audio-visual methods, radio, TV, social media, etc. For example, as a social worker in healthcare setting, many were working professional social worker during Corona times. How to prevent, how to overcome, and what are the preventive measures overcome the corona. So here, the professional social workers keep in touch with the community by means of write-ups and periodicals, audio-visual methods. If people, if as a professional social worker working in rural or tribal community, just you show one audio or video visual show to the particular community. Why? Because they are not understand the write-ups. So as a professional social worker, just you show the videos and audios and radio programs also, and TV and social media, etc. Nowadays, social media is playing very crucial role as a professional social worker in healthcare to propagate about the issues in the healthcare setting. A social worker associated with a healthcare team also act as a promoter of community residential care provider.
Yes.
So people who have no families or whose families can no longer care for them at home and who don't belong to hospital or nursing home require community residential care, like nowadays these palliative care centers are working. A professional social worker associated with healthcare team and promoter of community residential care provider. Apart from all the aforesaid functions, social worker attended emergencies as and when required. As a professional social worker, number of functions he may play. Social worker attends emergencies as and when required. There are two types of emergencies generally we called medical emergencies and social emergencies. I think all of you know medical emergency and social emergency. Medical emergency, in the name is there, medical emergency, burns, cardiac problems, cardiac arrest like poisoning and traumas, etc. are the true medical emergencies. Burns, cardiac arrest, cardiac problems, poisoning when client or when individual taking poisonings, traumas, the accidents are the trauma medical emergencies. And social emergencies include cases of child abuse, spousal abuse, elder abuse, rape, and so on are we call social emergencies. Here, all these have some common characteristics. Either medical emergencies and social emergencies have some common characteristics, that is, they are unexpected. These two emergencies are unexpected. We don't know when accident will occur, when accident will happen. So unexpected, happen suddenly, endanger the patient's life. All the about the social emergencies or medical emergencies may create some problem or endanger the client or patient's life, and the patients or families are not prepared for the same. Even patients also, he or she doesn't know the accident, and his or her families or doesn't know about the accident, and they are not prepared for the same. So as a result, patients or families face uncertainty, numerous questions, a flood of emotions, and a need to plan response to the situation at the particular situation when accident happened, when some cardiac arrest or any medical emergency or social emergency happen. As a result, patient or families face uncertainty and numerous questions and flood of emotions. When accident happened, when cardiac arrest happened, the family member in family, there are flood of emotions and need to plan response to the particular situation. Here, the particular situation, social worker to prepare plan response to the particular situation of the client. So here, social worker in this context provides support in reducing the degree of uncertainty and in understanding as well as gaining control over the situation. Here, professional social worker provides support reducing the degree of tension, uncertainty, and in understanding as well as gaining control over the situation. So next, if you have any doubts regarding the healthcare professional social worker in healthcare setting. Yes. No doubts. Okay.
Yeah, it's clear, sir. It's okay.
Then I'm continue with social work in community. This paper we are learning this one BSW-123 community organization and communication. Here, social work in community setting. So just here I am giving some overview on community. I'm not going in depth or in deeply. Just I am giving some overview on community setting, social work in community setting. The concept of community has three main features which are follows. I think all of you know what is community. Here I am just giving some important features of the community. Here the three main features of community is, one is, I think all of you know, group of people residing in the same locality. Community means one feature is a group of people residing in the same locality, as in the case of either village in rural area, town, neighborhood in a town. I think in India, Tanda or Gudam in tribal area. I think the similar word or I think there is a different word also is there in your country. What you are calling either village or any other name is there in your country? People, a group of people residing in the same locality in the case of rural area. Are you calling as a village or any other name? Either Nigeria or Malawi or Uganda, any other African country? Who are the people, who are the group of people residing in the particular area, particularly in rural areas? What you are called? Or village or any other name?
It's just
Yes.
here in Nigeria,
Village.
it's just a village.
Yes. Okay.
Village.
Okay. Very good. In the same way, in India also we are calling as a village. And in the case of urban area, we are called a neighborhood, or colonies, or any neighborhood or colony welfare, residential welfare associations. We are calling group of people residing in urban areas. Tribal areas we are calling Gudam or Tanda or like same 2-3 names is there. Is there any names in your country? Group of people residing in tribal area, what you are calling? Yes. Okay. I think there is no names. One feature is group of people residing in the same locality. The second feature is the group of people shares some similar social and economic characteristic. One is a group of people residing same locality. Second feature is some similar social and economic characteristics. Here, some economic similar occupation. Here means some similar occupation, income and expenditure could be some of the economic character. What is economic characteristics is the similar occupation. For example, 75 to 80% of the population depends upon occupation, same occupation like agriculture in village. For example, in village, 75 to 80% of the population depends on agriculture occupation. So that's why we are calling same economic characteristics. Means similar economic characteristics, and income and expenditure could be some of the economic characteristics. Second one is social characteristics. Here social characteristics means caste, religion, language, or cultural traits could be some of the social characteristics. For example, same caste people residing the particular same caste group of people from the same caste residing the particular locality, same religion or same language speaking, same cultural traits practicing people. Here, the second feature of the community. The third feature is we feeling. This is very important and unique. This group of people tends to identify with each other, and there is a feeling of cohesiveness among them. The sense of we feeling is limited only to the members of the community, which differentiates them from the other communities. For example, you are from Nigeria. When you visit America or India, you are calling, I am from Nigeria, I am from the particular area, I am Malawian, I am Uganda, I am from Africa. You are claiming the sense of we feeling is limited only to the members of the particular community, which differentiate them from other communities. We are from the particular community, we are from the particular religion, we are from particular cultural traits, cultural practices. So here you remember the three important features of the community. One is the group of people residing in the same locality. Second one is group of people residing same locality practice similar social and economic characteristics. Group of people residing same locality practicing similar social and economic characteristics and shares, and the sense of we feeling is the members of the community. So these three important features of community. Yes. Yes, Anas, please.
Yes, sir. Like in this second features of the
Community.
The second one, features of
Community.
this
How?
features of community. Yes, sir. We in Nigeria here,
Yes.
if you go to a village, you find a house.
Yes.
You find a house. You call this butcher's house. Can we call that part of this second feature?
No, please repeat your question, Anas.
I said, like we here in the village, you find houses, different houses. One
Yes.
house you call it farmer's house. Another one at the side they call it butcher's house. So can we put that one part of the second feature of what you are doing now?
So here you remember two things. One is social characteristics and second one economic characteristics. In the second feature, social characteristics means here either caste, religion, cultural traits. And economic status means economic means here you remember majority around 75 or 80% of the people depends on the same occupation. Here we are not considering the structure of house. Majority of the people depends on the majority group of people depends on the same occupation. For example,
that's what I mean. If you find a house in a village, you find out about 80 to 90% of the people in the house. It's a very big house, not small house in a village. You find about 90 to 80% of the people in the house are practicing one thing. That's what make me to ask this question.
Okay, within the family, they are part and parcel of the community. Their family is part and parcel of the particular community where they are residing.
Okay, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Mustafa.
Sir, regarding to what Anna said about the different houses in Nigeria, so I am going to correct him in that way. So,
Yes.
Mala, what our lecturer is trying to make us to understand here is that all those houses that you are talking about, just they are under all they living together in one community, and they have a similar characteristic of I think what
Of
should
the
I
group
call
of
it?
people,
Yes,
characteristics of
like
people.
business or language or abundant. So also they are called community.
Yes.
Do not to confuse yourself, Mala, and for different houses. They don't have the same business, or they don't have the same culture. But just what we have to understand here is that we have to know that those people that are living together with the same religion, maybe the same religion, the same language, culture, just they are merely called community organization or community. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Here, all of you remember, in the context of urban community, we cannot generalize these characteristics. In urban community, I think Anas raised the question. Uh, Type of house is different. When we are calling as a community, is three important character features. Three important feature. One is group of people residing the same locality. Their occupation means here economic and social characteristics same. The third one is we feeling. These three are the important features of community. Here, discard content. Someone is what should be on the cover page of the assignment, or there is no need of cover page. We just answer the questions and submit just like that. Kindly help. I already did assignment. Just confused on the cover page part. Okay. After completion of the this class, we will discuss about your assignment and queries. Discard content. I will give answer to you. Okay. Any more? Here, community as a system means that it is a totality comprising of a number of parts which are functionally related to each other. Here, in the community is a number of parts which are functionally related to each other. Means here functionally here refers to the useful role which each part has to play. Here means when all the parts are linked to each other functionally, then it makes an integrated whole. Community as a system has three subsystems which are as follows. Here, community has three subsystems. One is economic subsystem, second one is political subsystem, third one is social subsystem. Here, the economic subsystem deals with the aspects like occupation, income, expenditure, and assets of the community. The political subsystem examines how power is distributed in a community. In economic subsystem, we here deals with the aspects like occupation. How many are practicing their occupation agriculture? How many are in business? How many are bureaucrats? So here economic subsystem aspects like based on occupation and income group, low income group, middle income group, or higher income group, and expenditure and assets. So these are the aspects in economic subsystem. When we'll discuss in political subsystem, it examines how power is distributed in the community. What is the base? Here it seeks to answer questions like who has power in the community and what is based on how is it used. Here we are speaking about power. Who has power in the community, and 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 what is the based, and how is it used. Here who has the power in the community. Here you remember an easy way of the identification of powerful people in community is by identifying the leaders, both formal and informal leaders. Formal leaders, either elected or selected by the people. Here, I think some religious or religious people or some organization people, they are elected or selected by the particular community. Here, formal leaders refer to individuals occupying formal position in local organizations. These organizations could be religious, political, economic, and or social. For example, political means elected by the people. These, for example, local panchayati president in India, elected by the people. Here, the organization could be formal leader. He or she must elected by the people. Formal leader could be religious. For example, some tribal people, some tribal groups, they are selected by their religious leader. Some economic or social, for example, organization, non-governmental organizations, they may elect their president or secretary, joint secretary, vice president, and the organization um, um, organization executive body may elect by their members of the particular organizations. For example, in Uganda or Malawi, one organization is there in your country. The particular organization every based on their objectives, based on their society's bylaw, they may elect their president, secretary, their vice president, joint secretary by their members of the particular organization. So here it is social or economic. We are called formal leaders. Informal leaders, individuals exercise power without occupying positions. Here, informal leaders, they don't have any power. They are just without occupying positions. But they are claiming they are people. They are people recognizing leaders. Like simple way to identify informal leaders is to ask a number of people in the community to name a few individuals who are helpful and influential. In the community, we can find out the people. They are not the leaders. They are not elected by any political party. They are not elected by people. They are not elected by any organization, even though they are known to people. Why? Because they are working in the community. Just you ask the people in the community who are helpful and influential, they can see. Those who are recognized by many people in the community, we are called informal leaders. What are the basis of power? Leadership has to have some foundations, and this could refer to a number of factors: economic assets in the form of money, house, land, etc. Here, how individual recognized as a leader in the community based on the economic assets in the form of money. For example, the individual having more assets, more economic assets in the form of money, and in the form of house, and in the form of land. The particular individual having thousands of hundreds of acres of land, number of houses. The particular individual having more bank balance. So based on the economic assets here, we are recognized as a leader. Caste membership, education, information, contacts, and networking. Anyone can say how leader is recognized in your community, in your country, either Malawi or Uganda, Nigeria. Yes.
Sir, repeat the question.
No. So what is the base in the context of economic assets? Is there any identification in your country? If you, for example, Abdul Mustafa having more buildings, lot of money, more bank balance, the lot of land. If you have more assets in your locality, can you recognized by your community as a leader?
Yes, sir.
Is there? Okay.
Yes, sir. Because even if the government want to be function well, so there must be it has the resources to apply in order to balance it is agenda. So
Okay.
according to some philosophers say that power without resources is nothing useless. So that every leader or you are a leader or even government, so you must have resources to have to apply. And to me, when we are talking about power, just it is referring to the resources because no resources are no power. No resources like money, houses, places, etc. Thank you, sir.
Okay. And one more thing, leadership by caste and religion. So here, leadership, caste membership, education, information, contacts and networking, family prestige, membership in important political parties and business establishment. Is there any leadership by the caste, any leadership by the education, any leadership by the family prestige, membership in political party in your country? If you are from particular political party, you have any leadership?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Each every party and it has a leader. Every political party. Then regarding to here in Nigeria, we have a political party, and each every party it has its leader.
No, Mustafa.
Together,
For example, you are from the particular caste or religion. You may have any leadership in your community.
yes, sir.
Can you,
Currently now,
can
I
you give
am
an
living.
example? Can you give one example?
Hi, sir. Sir.
Uh-huh. Can you give any example?
Sir, share in my sir. Hi.
Okay. Your
Hi,
voice
sir.
is disturbed. Yes. Your voice is very loud.
Hello.
Hello. Okay.
Hello.
Yes, you are audible. You are audible.
Mustafa, it's
Sir, we
Please
can't hear
say.
you.
seems Mustafa is
Okay. Mustafa, please.
he's
Yes. Yes.
Put at one place. So he's
Okay. Okay. Anas.
giving us problem.
Okay. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Anas.
We have our is a leader of the community. Many people, if they have their problem, they go to him direct and call him as a leader. If something comes through the politicians, he is the one to solve the problems of the people.
Yes. Francis. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, I wanted to comment on you asked you to say
Yes.
is it automatic in our community that
Yes.
when one has assets, when has income, automatically becomes a leader? It all depends on how you deal with your assets that you have. So the community will only recognize you when you address the help in what we call the corporate social responsibility. Are you helping the poor? Are you helping the sick? Do you take part in education or any community activities that you have? So this is the only time that you're going to be recognized as a leader. But without doing that, you're just considered as any role-like citizen, even if you have a lot of riches, even if you have a good economic activity. So it all depends.
Okay. Any more?
Hello, sir.
Yes, Anas. Anas, go ahead.
To be a leader doesn't mean that income with you. For example, in India, Mahatma Gandhi is not a rich person, but he mobilized the country and be the leader. I think it's not matter of money or something. You have to deal with your community very well. If you are good enough, they can make you to be a leader.
Yes, Francis.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Mustafa,
Sir,
your voice is.
hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello. Sir, I am here strongly with confidence to dire my colleagues
No, no.
for
I think you
saying
are in
that.
journey. Your voice
Hello?
is. Your voice is very unstable.
Sir, I said that I am here strongly to dire my colleagues for saying that a leadership must be well without resources. So, like regarding to what my colleague Anas was given an example, like he said, Mahatma Gandhi, he was not a richer and he mobilized the country up to gaining an independence. So, Mahatma Gandhi, we can call him as a aristocrat, those people
No,
that
no.
are heroes. So
Mustafa,
to me,
Mustafa.
sir, if you
No, no.
are
Here,
going to be a leader, you must
Mustafa.
have resources to apply.
No, no. Here I am. Our context is different. Is there any based on the caste, based on economic condition, based on the educational qualification, based on the family prestige? Is there any leadership in your country? Leadership through caste, leadership through family prestige, leadership through educational qualification. For example, you have done your you are having highest degree in your entire community. Are you having any leadership in your community?
Yes.
Okay. I'm saying regarding the leadership from educational qualification or family prestige, you are from elite family, your father or your grandfather having some recognition in your family, in your community, you may get some recognition, you may get leadership from your family prestige. So here we are discussing leadership or power. What are the bases here? Membership in important political party or family prestige and business establishment. How you will what are the bases of power? Number of bases is there. If you are, for example, in your community, you are having highest educational qualification, you may get power. In some another community, you are from family prestige, you may get some power. So different source is there, different base is there for power. Yes. Then how is power utilized? Power always seeks to strengthen itself in various forms and ways. Political power reinforces economic power. Within turn, economic power reinforces political power. A person with political power will try to strengthen his economic base by acquiring assets, business contracts, etc. I think all of you know political power enforces economic power. Economic power enforces political power. So both these two in turn, a person with political power will try to strengthen his economic base by acquiring assets and business also. The social subsystem, economic subsystem, so social subsystem and economic subsystem and political subsystem, and last one, social subsystem. In the social subsystem, the social structure with reference to marriage and family, caste system, religious beliefs, values, and norms would be some of the aspects to be studied. Festivals, food habits, ornaments, etc. could be some of the other aspects of community. Social work with rural communities. Here, conceptualizing the social work intervention measures. As a professional social worker, the identified problems have to be developed in the format of issue. The implement of this process, the following steps should be undertaken. Identify the problem to be worked upon. Decide on the target group, the quantitative dimension. Here, for example, in typical village system, you will find people residing on the basis of community. The base of the organization of the community may be caste or occupation. Moreover, there are lack of infrastructure in the village. For example, if you will take example as a infrastructure, lack of infrastructure in the community, like road facility or health facilities in the community. As a professional social worker, first you operationalize the objectives of your program, which could have both quantitative and qualitative dimensions, and then identify the local institutional structure for collaborative work. For example, you may take health facilities, provide health facility to community in the rural area. First, identify local institutional structures for collaborative work. What are the organizations providing health facilities to people residing in rural communities? So here, as a professional social worker, identify local institutional structures, either hospitals, community health centers, primary health care centers, any other non-governmental organization, hospitals, trust hospitals, and decide on a line of action. Then list out a few qualitative and quantitative indicators to evaluate the work done. Before going to implement your program, health facilities, out of 100 people, how many are getting some health facilities in the particular community, and which type of facilities they are getting, and then after implementation of the program, list out few qualitative and quantitative indicators, evaluate the work done. After completion of your program, after implementation of your program, you need to evaluate the work done. In the case of qualitative and quantitative indicators, list out the indicators after implementing your program. Once these steps are undertaken, then the broad outline of the intervention measure is ready. No specific steps have to be decided upon, for which the following details of the proposed line of action would be helpful. What specific steps have to be taken? For example, we will take education to all. Based on our objective, what resources are required for the proposed steps? How many schools? Is there in community? Which type of services they are providing? So, what resources are required for the proposed steps? From where the resources are to be obtained? The governmental organizations or non-governmental organizations? How they are getting resources? Discussion with personnel of the institutional structure and then nature of collaboration to be undertaken. So here in the community setting, traditionally community was the context in which people lived, learnt about their own culture and related to other human beings. The modern world, based on industrialization and urbanization, is eroding the concept of community. Day by day, the percentage of rural population day by day is decreasing. The percentage of urban community or urban population is increasing. It's based on industrialization and urbanization. These two is eroding the concept of community. Social work in correctional setting. Last one. According to social work curriculum study, we social work seeks to enhance the social functioning of individuals and in groups by activities focused upon their social relationship, which constitute the interaction between man and his environment. The activities can be grouped into three functions: restoration of impaired capacity, provision of individual and social resources, and prevention of social dysfunction. Here, in correctional setting, you as a social worker, trainee, student social worker, you remember restoration of services or restoration of impaired capacity. And second one is provision of individual and social resources. Third one is prevention of social dysfunction. In society, every individual capacity correction himself or herself. Some people doing crime again and again. So few people unknowingly they are doing some crime. Few are knowingly they are doing crime and again and again. Because of their multiple factors is there. Why they are doing the same thing? Why they are doing crime again and again? For this, who are the people doing the crime again and again? Put into the correctional institutions. They need some restoration. They need some service how to overcome the crime. Here, the goal of correctional setting is not only punishment, but also correcting them, making them good citizen of the community. In correctional setting, or not only punishment, but also correction them, making them good citizenship, good citizen in the community. Only punished the individual up to 7 years or 14 years, put them into jail and put them into prison. This is not the goal of correctional setting. Put them the client, put them the victim, put them into prison, and then correction them, making them a good citizen in the community. Therefore, role of social worker in correctional setting is required. Who will do this job? Professional social worker do this job as a correctional social worker. Hence, social work is discipline which takes preventive and remedial action on problems in several areas of society. It helps families in economic or emotional difficulty. It works in medical and social school situations. It seeks to correct the causes underlying delinquency and crime. Social worker is to prepare individual development plan based on their social and economic factor. For example, the individual doing crime and again and again because of his family problem, means because of his socio-economic conditions he is poor, he is eligible for crime. No, it is wrong. But here, based their socio-economic factor, here the individual from lower caste or individual from highly income group or individual higher literate, highly literate. Here means, for example, the client, the individual from highly educated is doing cyber crime. He is highly literate, but he is doing cyber crime based on his socio-economic factors. The treatment based on his socio-economic conditions, the treatment plan also according his condition. So here, social worker prepare individual development plan based on their socio-economic factors of the individual. It seeks to correct the causes underlying delinquency and crime. The three functions of social work: restoration of impaired capacity, provision of individual and social resources, and prevention of social dysfunction are interviewed and interdependent. Here, once they are out from jail, once we implement provide some plan, provide some assistance to the individual during the course of the time, the client interact with a professional social worker. He or she may maintain good relationship with professional social worker. After course of action, after treatment, client not maintaining, not restoring, not maintaining his qualities, not maintaining his character after completion of his course. Here, once they are out from jail, how he or she has integrated with others within the community is also very important. The professional social worker after follow-up is also very important after treatment. So in correction, social work not only helps individuals, groups and community to solve problems, but also assist them to prevent offending behavior and enrich daily living. So the main focus of social worker is upon helping people to prevent and control crime. In correctional setting, the main focus of the professional social worker is helping people to prevent and control crime. Why they are doing crime and again as a professional social worker to helping the client to prevent and control crime. The social worker usually works with clients on a conscious level, helping them to face realities and solve problems in preventing and controlling offending behaviors. Task of social worker in correctional setting. To deal with officially identified delinquents and criminals, every democratic society has created a system of correctional agencies. As a correctional social worker, identified delinquents and criminals by the appropriate correctional agencies. These agencies have been given the task of administering the penalties assigned to the delinquents and criminals. These agencies are expected to protect the community during the offender's period of supervised status by controlling his behavior. So here, furthermore, they are expected to help the offender so that he can return to normal status, better able to be constructive member of the community. When the correctional social worker identified delinquents, then these agencies, official correctional agencies have been given the task of administering the penalties assigned to the delinquents and criminals. These agencies, either prison or any other homes, these agencies are expected to protect the community during the offender's period of supervised status by controlling his behavior. Probation and parole are the two main agencies in the correctional system. Different kinds of correctional institutions are as follows. Prison means, I think all of you know, prisons means jails. And school for juvenile delinquents. Juvenile delinquents means underage criminals, like underage, who are the children under the age of 18 years. We are called juvenile delinquents. Here, school for juvenile delinquents. Remand or observation homes. This short duration homes for short duration homes and children homes, beggar homes, protective homes, state homes, probation hostels. Have you heard about this prison, children home, beggar homes, remand homes, state homes and probation hostels? Are you heard about this prison, state homes, remand homes,
Yes, bro.
homes for juvenile
Yes.
delinquents? Is there any organizations in your locality? Yes. Khalifa?
Yes, there's one, not necessarily in my locality, but in the district. Yeah, there's
Okay.
one.
Can you visit the organization under
Yes, I
our
can manage.
under our under our orientation or observational visit?
Yes, I can manage to visit one. I think it's not far. Yeah, it cost me a transport, but I can visit.
Okay. Yes, Buba. Are you in the room? Hamad Buba. Okay. Any more? Okay. These are the different kinds of correctional institutions across the country. I think in prisons, school for juvenile delinquencies, remand homes, children homes, beggar homes, protective homes, state homes, or probation hostels. All these correctional agencies, correctional institutions, social workers may be known by such titles as classification officer, treatment worker, case worker, group worker, diagnostic social worker, house master, etc. All these correctional institutions and agencies, social workers may be known by such titles as case worker, group worker, diagnostic clinical worker, house master, clinical classification officer. Among these, in the social treatment point of view, case worker and group worker stand out permanently, prominently across the globe. It is characteristic of social work task in the correctional setting that the worker may need to engage the administration in identifying the required services and in formulating job description so that the correctional setting may benefit from a fuller use of social work skills. Here, it is characteristics of social work in identifying the required services and in formulating job description. The social worker helps the offender to change his offending behavior. In the starting, we are uh, discussing the goal of social worker or the goal of professional, the goal of correctional social worker or the goal of correctional social work setting is helps the offenders to change his or her offending behavior so that he or she can relate constructively to others and become socially acceptable. This is done through working with individuals to help him to change through better understanding of himself and by tapping his own strengths and resources, and through modification of his environment to bring about a more healthy social climate in which he has to live. After change his offending behavior, the individual may better understanding of himself and by tapping his own strengths and resources. So the social worker encourages the offender to talk about his problems, to feel about them, and to come to an insightful understand of himself, accompanied by social constructive behavior. As a correctional social worker encourages the offenders to talk about his problems, why he has committed crime, then what is the reasons behind the crime, to feel about them and to come to an insightful understanding of himself. So here the tasks of the social worker in corrections include four particular aspects. One is investigation for the purpose of securing information about the client's failure or success in meeting the obligation of his legal status. Second one, the use of controls to modify client's behavior. Third one, acting as a legal authority in the client's life with responsibility for value change. Correctional decision making. Based on the above three, correctional decision making by the correctional social worker. The correctional social worker's most important task is to change the values and behavior of the offenders. The correctional social worker task is to change the values and behavior of the offenders. Why? Because they are doing crime again and again. Here, the professional social worker change the values and behavior of the offenders so that they begin to accept the values of the particular community. So here, therefore, social workers aim to help the offender, not to punish him. The goal is to utilize the knowledge and skills of the profession in a corrective manner to rehabilitate the offender, to help him to help himself so that he can return to and become a part of his society and lead constructive life. Social workers' aim is to help the offender, not to punish him. So here, juvenile delinquency and crime are major problems of modern society. Social work has an important role to play in the control, correction, and prevention of delinquency and crime. So, as a correctional social worker, play important role in control, correction, and prevention of delinquency and crime. Social work attempts to help the individual, his family, and the community to face and solve delinquency and crime through the utilization of individual, family, and community resources. Yes, any doubts, any queries regarding this correctional social work? Correctional social work. Yes, Anas.
Hello, sir. My question is not on the lectures that you are doing. Yesterday, in our group, on our social workers group, I heard someone talking about the assignment that was given to us on BSW-121, 122, and 123. They said that our assignment is going to be written on a paper with a biro. After you screenshot, you snap the assignment and convert it to PDF. And some said that the assignment is going to be typed through the computer or laptop and added to the submission portal. I don't know how this thing is, because all the people in the group have been arguing on how the assignment should be submitted. Is it going to be typed on the computer, or is going to be written in a paper with a pen, and then after convert it to the PDF?
You can submit both, either pen and paper, and the second one is you can type your assignment.
Thank you, sir. I'm saying it on behalf of all the people of the group. I know majority of them are online now, so that they should not be confused on what they are chatting yesterday. Thank you,
okay.
sir.
Okay.
Sir, so you are confirming that it can either be handwritten by pen or it can be typed. There's no problem.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So far, how many have submitted? Only submitted 14. Are you with me? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
My slide is visible.
Yes, sir.
Only 14 have submitted.
Sir, I want to add on one thing that my friend is facing. On his LMS, he can view everything, but he doesn't have any right to access the video that on this video that we are doing our courses. How is he going to do? He has been trying since almost 2 weeks back to today.
No. Have you accessed with your LMS? Have you accessed it with your?
It's not my own. It's one of my friends. He is part of the course, but he cannot join the meeting that we are doing. Since we have been trying, but his phone did not allow him to access the our presentation. So, is he able?
First of all, she or he check his or her email. First, collect the user ID and password. Once access the LMS portal, they can get the information.
He has accessed all that. He has changed his password, accessed the MLS portal. He has started even downloading the courses, but he does not have access to the induction meeting. That's what I'm asking. He tried, but
once
he cannot.
Once check in spam folder in Gmail. Registered email is there. Which one you have given to the IGNO?
Gmail.
Yes. Once you again check Gmail in spam folder or inbox folder, you may get the
a message was
information.
sent to him. A message was sent to him that he should join the meeting. But if you go and click the join the meeting, a pop-up menu used to appear on the screen, shows him that he should enter his phone number. If he entered the phone number, they will say that the phone number is incorrect. That was is been showing to him since last 2 weeks.
Okay, once you send your query to director COE at the date igno.ac.in.
So what is asking is
regional.
that what he's asking is that can he, since
I don't know what,
he is looking,
yes,
since he is seeing our induction and he has been reading the courses over and over, can he go and solve his assignment and send it before solving this case?
Okay. Anas, please send it to me about your query, please.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Through email. Okay.
Where is your email, sir? Please send me your email, sir.
No, my email is there. My email is there here.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
On the same issue of the assignment, I've got a question.
Yes.
I wrote the assignment, all of them. BSW-121, 122, 123. Now my query comes on the cover page. Do I submit without the cover page, or there is a way I must write the cover page? Because I'm confused. I don't know what to include on the cover page. Otherwise, the assignments, all of them, they're already written. Now, on the part of the cover page, that's why I'm confused.
Just you see here, I think just you see here, I'm showing.
Have you gotten me, sir?
Wait. Is my slide is visible now?
Your slide disappeared. We can't see it. We cannot see it.
It is coming. Okay.
Yes, now we can see it.
Yes. Just you tell me your problem.
My problem
Which one?
is on the cover page
BSW-121?
of the assignment.
Cover page.
Come again? Yes. What do I include? Do I
This
submit
one?
just answers?
This one you are asking?
Yes.
Hello? So just you
Yes.
write down your name. Okay. One thing, you write
Yes,
down the course name here, professional social work and its values. Then course code is BSW-121. Your name, your roll number, and your details. You write down your details, and then you write down the assignment. For example, 8 is there here. Answer any of the following 5. Just you write down the answer. Front page, just you write down your details. Name of the course.
Okay.
Course code, your details, your personal details, name, enrollment number. If there is any ID, just you mention. That is enough.
All right, sir. We
Then you
include the
submit here.
ID, the student ID number. We include it.
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much. Well understood.
Okay. Okay. Stephen Chunga.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about all the very same our media group we were discussing, and somebody came up with an issue to say you have increased the number of you have increased the dates, or you have added some days to the dates of submission of an assignment. Is that true?
All of you, please send your query to RC Bhuvaneshwar and COE, Director COE. Here I will
Okay.
send the details.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, bye. Namuju.
Yes, sir, I'm inquiring. Are we supposed to write, or it's okay to type the work of the coursework that we are?
Both. You can do.
If I type, it's okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sir, I have noticed that the assignment that we are displaying here and the one that I am responding to, or the one that I downloaded, are different.
Your email.
Can I? Yes. Can I share my screen so that you can see the assignment that I have?
Just
because I think.
Okay. Tell me your number.
Can I share my screen so that I can show you the assignment that I downloaded? Because it seems it's different from the one that you're displaying here. So can you allow me to share my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Show your.
Okay. Okay. Are you able to see my screen?
Okay.
You are able to see my screen?
No. Now, okay. First and second semester assignment. Okay. So what is your problem?
I see the questions that are here and the questions that you were displaying there, they are different. So I don't know, because this is the one that I am undertaking. This is the one that I'm answering. So I see that the questions which are here and the ones which are there are different. However, here, as you can see, is for 2022, 2023. BSW-121, 122, and 123.
I think both same, na? BSW-121 and 1. First, you read first question.
You haven't shared it yet.
You can.
Yes, you're able to see your screen, but you haven't shared it.
Just you read first question in BSW-125.
The first question says, briefly explain the historical development of social work profession in UK and USA.
Okay. So which one you have downloaded? Just you write down based on your assignment. So don't worry.
So I can continue with this assignment.
Which source you download? You download from eVidya Bharati or any other source?
Hello, sir.
Yes,
He
yes.
did not download the right assignment. This one is not the assignment that was given in our LMS portal.
No, but I downloaded this one from
No, you downloaded from which source?
I downloaded from the regional center and the study center.
No. That is the different. That is. I think it is the particular assignment is only for regular students of Indian regular students, not for you. Here it is showing Bachelor of Degrees Social Work. Our program code is BSW-GOL.
Yes, it's BSW-GOL.
Our program name is our program code is BSW-GOL. Our program name is Bachelor of Degree in Social Work Online. So this is BSW program, BSW assignment for another ODL students, not for you. Just
Okay.
you need to download from eVidya Bharati portal only.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir. So the one that we have to respond to is the one which is in the LMS portal.
Yes, eVidya Bharati. Just you access. Yes.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. I'm concluding this session. If you have any doubts, please send it to your queries to my email.
Sir. Hello, sir.
Yes.
Can you just answer the question that Stefan asked about the extension of the dates of submission?
Just I'm requesting you all, please send your queries to the higher authorities. They will decide. The Center for Online Examination, the Regional Center, Bhubaneswar. Here I'm sharing email IDs, directors.coe@igno.ac.in, and then I will send regional center email ID also. Just 1 minute.
Okay. The question isn't like us requesting now, but there is a communication that the dates are being extended. Is it true?
I'm not getting your point.
Okay. They came.
What he's asking is that some of the people in the group said that the assignment date has been extended. Is this true or false?
May or may not. I cannot say it may extend or not. I don't know exactly. Once you contact with concerned authority, they can give correct answer. Here I'm sharing the email addresses. Just you send your queries. Okay. Any doubts? Okay, see you. Bye.
Okay, see you tomorrow, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.